Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Y'all excuse me as I'm eating on this piece of candy. This is video 3. And I gotta stop being so silly because video 3 might be the most crucial video out of them all. Now, let me tell you this. We're gonna go back. California. Truly, and this is my opinion, so y'all don't beat me up. But if you want to talk about the home of the American bully, it's really California. And this is why I say this. If you look for the most popular kennels, where they arrive from, the most of them is out in Cali. If you look at the biggest dogs in the game, most of them was out in Cali. The culture of the American bully, a lot of it came from Cali. It was Cali and Houston and Florida, where you saw a ton of the culture for the American bully come. And it was multiple reasons. It used to be warm all the time in those places, so they could always throw shows. You throw a show on 2 days' notice back in the day in Cali, and you would get 2,000, 3,000 people, no problem. Same thing with what Byron was doing in Houston. Me and Danny threw a show in Florida. They shut the highway down. Yeah! So shit was good, but let's go to Cali. The ABKC. Remember, I told y'all, Adrian and Alfredo. This one is, you know, it's in their house. I guess you would call it an office. In their house, and you know, these are professional brothers, but nobody knew shit about running a registry. So what happened is that it was a processing issue. Couldn't get any papers out, you know what I mean? Even with all the technology in the world, just couldn't get papers out. So not fast enough. It was like bags of shit piled up. It really wasn't a good setup for them to be trying to keep up with this very fast growing breed. So what happened is, in the process, a brother named Holiday, rest in peace, my brother, he comes aboard. And he changes shit. Holiday turns around and Holiday creates a bigger part of the culture. For one, he gets the paperwork going out. Then a lot of the trophies that you see now, Holiday was a big in creating the bully heads and different things like that. He had an influence. This shit started to go. The shows started to get bigger. People is excited about getting their champions. It is starting to cook. They're cooking, baby. Unfortunately, Holiday gets sick. I won't go into the details of that. But, you know, at a young age, brother gets sick. Decisions have to be made. And during this time, the decision was Dave and Deanna would take it over and take it to Spotsylvania. Now, let me say this first and foremost. This is integral for 2 reasons. They did a good job of getting the infrastructure of the ABKC to where you see it now. When they got it to Spotsylvania, internationally, every level, it went to another level. Whoever they had doing whatever they was, I know Deanna was running the office and putting everything organized. They did an incredible job. I gotta always give credit to where credit is due. It was an amazing job that they did, taking it to the next level, but problems were on the way. At the same time, most of you don't know who Cruz is. Cruz could pretty much be considered the vice president of the ABKC at that time. Dave's right-hand man started off as Bow Wow Kennels, eventually turned into Razor's Edge Kennels with Dave, and they were partners. Cruz is very, very influential. Most people don't know about him because it's meant to be that way. Dave would never give a guy like that credit for anything. I'll continue the story. So it was 2 things going on. Cruz had made a post. And this is way back when. This is maybe 2011. And he was, as who he was with the ABKC, a dude in power. He put up a post and he was letting people know, like, I don't like this extreme shit. Y'all dogs is getting out of line. So Cruz is already starting to sort of butt heads with Dave on one level. Keep in mind, at the same time, you still got the Holiday situation, which they've just moved on from. Then that thing keeps growing. They knock off Ukanuba, that Ukanuba. So now they got a huge show out in California. Huge show. Unfortunately, at this show, you have the representatives, but you also have OG Memo Loke, you know what I'm saying, Double S Squad originator of the ABKC, who was a previous owner of the ABKC when he was with the Elite Edge, but he moved on, and there was definitely some beef going on between Cruz and Memo. I'm not gonna go into the details. Things escalate. Y'all know how it goes down in Cali. Ends up being a brawl for it all. Now, Dave Usain Bolt Wilson, at this time, is rumored to have jumped over 4 tables, you know what I'm saying, did a backflip, and ran out the building like a ninja. Dave later would quote to me and tell me, T, what was I supposed to do? It was 2 damn Mexican gangs fighting. I can't fight. Yes, I ran, but I didn't jump no tables. That's what Dave told me. And I'm dead serious. That's what he told me. So this goes down. And of course, if you don't understand the culture, that's a huge slap in the face when this is supposed to be your right-hand man. You in here brawling. He done ran. So this created further conflict between Cruz and Dave. Cruz is already pissed off about the dogs. Now Dave then ran, and the friendship disintegrates. During this time, they had a lot of partnerships on magazine, the registry, clothing line, multiple things. This is from Dave's mouth to me. This what leads to the 2014 Nationals, when Dave wanted me and the squad to come out almost as pretty much as protection, because he was scared of Cruz. And if y'all don't know how this situation broke down, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but it got like WWE. You had the Elite Edge Dynasty, which was Cruz's boys. You had the Elite Edge. Now, the craziest part about this shit was it was the exact same logo. That's why it was like WWE, because it was the exact same logo. It's just the Dynasty had like gold letters that said Dynasty up under the EE logo. This shit was wild. Like, you really had 2 different squads of the same group, 2 former best friends now beefing. The beef was even more real because Dave told me when he called me out to the show. Cruz, he was pissed off about the running situation, maybe amongst other things. And Dave said he's taking me off of some of the businesses. And he said, flat out, T, I did some stuff with some paperwork. Dave took Cruz as part of the ABKC and kicked him out. This is huge because Cruz ain't built like that. Cruz is not letting that go. So it was a lot of animosity. It was a lot of things going on. That's when Dave had the bodyguard that looked like Billy Blanks at the 2014 show. He had me come out. I'm out there with about 20-something people myself. Dave was literally fearing for his life because, I mean, you steal from a guy who ain't, Cruz is far from soft, you know what I mean? And me and Cruz don't even get along all the time, but I get a brother his respect. He's not soft. So Dave knew he was in trouble, put it that way. So this is all going on. This is when you start to notice that Bashar is coming in. Now, you have to stay, and that's why I said this thing could be long, and it could get sort of crazy, right? Because this is the thing that's sort of, you had the Cruz situation, right? But then you still got the Holiday situation. Then, of course, we got the Extreme situation. This is all like 2013, 2014, just blowing up. And you had outside presences like the UKC, some other dog people criticizing the ABKC about the Extreme class and saying that they literally made a class for unhealthy dogs and they were promoting unhealthy dogs. This is why Dave called me and we talked about it. Dave decided to remove the Extreme class, but this was the problem. I told him then, if you're removing those dogs, the dogs need to be moved, not the class. If they're classified as Extreme, they need to be inspected in order to see if they fit in the standard, the pocket, whatever class that you were going to try to fit them in. Dave by no means wanted to let go of that money, and he infiltrated them back in. So he tried to save face by saying, I'm getting rid of the Extreme class. But he didn't lose a dime because he infiltrated all of these dogs that were fucked up into the breed. And this is why this is a crucial time, because if you look after 2014, you start to see more and more fucked up dogs. They got worse and worse and worse. You had the emergence of Mr. Beans. Then, of course, you know, it just got worse, bro. We had champions with kink tails, all kind of weird shit. Then they let Miyagi in. This is a bad time, and this is when you started to see Dave was truly letting the breed go downhill. But he was trying to find allegiances, because once he lost Cruz, he needed Bashar's money. Because I'm now, this is an assumption. I don't have the fact, but I know Cruz. Cruz ain't just take that L. Dave had to come up somewhere with that money in order to be able to do this. This is why Bashar is now an owner of the ABKC. No matter what they tell you, he's an owner. This is why he goes in and out of the ring. This is why he speaks for them. This is why he does all the things. Even though they took the video down, y'all heard him on that video, how he was talking. They had to make right with Cruz. I know that. I know Cruz wasn't going to get fucked and walked over. He ain't built like that. I'm just being real with y'all. Dave had to make it right with him. So, with that being said, this is all going on. So Dave is already on a semi-no-fly zone to Cali. But then this happens. Remember Holiday? So, for whatever reason, Dave decides to do a live. On this particular live, Dave says, baited by Bobby Deans, lean, mean Bobby Deans, who was talking about how Dave robbed Holiday and never gave him what he was supposed to give him. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. Dave is on the live and he says, I took care of Holiday the whole time he was sick. I took care of him. I put money in his family's pocket. I've been paid back every dime they had. On top of that, I took care of him and made sure he had money after that. Okay, that's solid. Except it never happened. Holiday's wife was contacted. Her response, and I quote, I didn't even know that Dave knew that Holiday had passed away. Dave never gave us anything. Dave never called to check on him. Dave never paid him the money back that he owed him. Keep in mind, this is 2014 we talking. The ABKC is making millions. The homies lose their motherfucking mind. You had, I ain't gonna say their names, but you had several homies that went live and told Dave flat out, it's a no-fly zone, period. We don't want to see you here. If we see you here, pretty much you ain't making it home, homie. You disrespected the homie after he passed away. You lied, you robbed him, you fucked over the homie. No more, no go. This is now two California boys disrespected that you fucked over. This is why there's no ABKC shows out there in Cali too often. I don't even recall the last show. Y'all tell me how many ABKC shows y'all done seen in Cali in the last decade. Dave Wilson ain't made an appearance in Cali in a decade. He used to always be out there. He fucked over a brother who had passed away, and then wasn't even man enough with sitting with millions in the ABKC account to still take care of the man's widow and his family, but he had the audacity to go on here and lie. And the reason why I tell this story and why it's so diabolical is it shows the character of Dave Wilson. And I can say this freely because I know he likes to send cease and desist letters and talk about people's lying. He know he can't do that on this one because this is 100% the truth. He robbed Holiday. He robbed his family. Then he lied on a dead man's body and said that he took care of him while he was sick and paid him his money back, to the point where the man's widow had to come out and break her piece and say that shit never happened, dog. This is why the homies don't want him in Cali. It's no jealousy thing. He did some dirty shit. He disrespected on the highest level. This is why the ABKC and Dave Wilson are not allowed in the biggest state in the United States as far as population go. He's not welcome there. You will never see a Los Angeles, California Nationals unless he cop a whole lot of deals, and I don't know how you're going to do it because they don't sound like they're trying to make no deals. Period. this is the ugliest point in the start of the ugliest point in American bully history, because not only is it a ban there, the situation with the extremes and his desperation because he's banned in Cali, got people looking for him. He needed a money man. He brings in Bashar, and Bashar starts to try to give him validation through other shit. And now he's got somebody else that got him by the balls. And now you start to see a real change. Within a year, a registry who had never, ever, ever always has said it'll never be any Miyagi blood in our registry because of what Miyagi's owner did. They let Miyagi blood in. Around that same time, we all knew from the beginning of the standard that it was never a Merle dog. The Merle was actually a disqualification. You were supposed to have your paperwork pulled. Now we starting to see them called blotched. Exotic bloods. Look at Rocco's pedigree. Rocco's grandmother, Madness, is an award-winning exotic. But she's got ABKC paperwork, and she, you know what I'm saying, and she's all the way legit in the ABKC. This was something that Dave used to speak out on. Now it's in the ABKC. This is all the same time frame as they start to let these dogs in. They start to do different things. Shit is getting hot, and it ain't nobody to check it no more. Cruz ain't there. He ain't got no muscle. You know what I'm saying? He fucked over the homies all over Cali. You don't got a chance to make a friend out there. Shit was getting real for the ABKC, and the culture shit that Dave Wilson did is one of the reasons why. The biggest part of this story, if y'all don't take nothing up out of this situation, is he's showing you his true colors. He ran out and left his best friend to fight. Then he lied about that shit. He turned around and stole from what was supposed to be his best friend, that part of the ABKC. He stole his other part of the ABKC from Holiday. Memo used to have a part of the ABKC. I don't know what happened with that. But at the end of the day, something that was started and nurtured by a lot of people, somehow Tricky Dave Wilson ends up with everything, including a bunch of bounties on his fucking head. Y'all listen up. It's going to get deeper. But rest in peace, Holiday. Much love to you. God bless you, brother. Dave. Peace.